Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode 380 of the Spearhead Sundays podcast. I'm your host, Lewis Spears. Dude, did you see that hunter that came to Australia, the American hunter influencer? She came to Australia to fucking kill as much stuff as she could, I guess. Right? And she posted a video of herself stealing a baby wombat from its mother, walking it across the road, holding it for the camera while it's screaming, running with it, like shaking it, holding it incorrectly underneath the armpits where its legs could snap. The mother is distressed, chasing after her. Some dickhead is filming it. The high beams are on in the car, blinding the wombat. They're on the road. She's laughing. Oh my God, I've always wanted to hold a wombat, just like stealing it from its mother. It's screaming in distress, probably in pain. The mother's freaking out, doesn't know what to do. And then she goes, all right, now I've got my video. I'm going to put it back down. She puts it back down on the fucking road. You see that? Now the entire country has like blown up and is incredibly upset. I'm making a video about it. They're incredibly upset about it all. And to the point where she's had to go into hiding. And even the fucking prime minister came out, the leader of the country, in a press conference to talk about it. And that really shows you how little goes on in our country. Like, Donald Trump is not talking about someone like being slightly rough while handling a coyote. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like I'm not excusing what she did. Fuck her. But it's not like she lit it on fire. You know, she wasn't playing quokka soccer with it. You know what I mean? She wasn't like kicking it around. She didn't even kill it. Right? What she did is terrible. But what I'm trying to say is that's how little shit is happening in our fucking country, or how little politicians give a fuck about things that are actually like important in our country. That like an American will come and jiggle a baby wombat around, and that's news for a week. And not only is it news for a week, but it makes us so upset that she's now left the country. She went into fucking hiding. She left the country. Right? I guarantee you people heard the American accent, looked at her face, recognized her, and were yelling at her in the street. That's so funny. And it's not even really about the wombat. Like, yes, what she did is bad, but at the end of the day, we all understand that the reason why we really don't like her is because she's American. And she was a tourist. And I know that all my Europeans listening to this can relate, and all my American fans are going, oh, why are you so angry at us? What did we do? Look, you guys need to lower your voice in public. You need to shut the fuck up. You know, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but there are so many more American tourists in Australia. That's how you know the economy is fucked here. All right? I'm loving it because I make USD on YouTube. So I essentially, while everyone else is losing their homes, I essentially got a 30% pay rise for doing fucking nothing. Because America's crushing it in the markets right now and Australia isn't. So that's great for me. Everyone else though, although I guess it cancels itself out because fucking eggs are expensive here. So like I might have gotten a 30% pay rise, but fuck dude. Everything's 40% more expensive. So you know what? I'm upset too. All right. But because our dollar is so weak, our country is swarming with American tourists. I finally understand how Japan feels. Get these foreigners out. I never thought I'd see the day where every politician in the country is taking a hardline Pauline Hanson stance, but just against American tourists. Don't fuck with our animals. Get out. The only thing you should be doing if you are like not an Australian citizen when you come here is buying all of our homes and skyrocketing their value. That's what you should be doing if you don't have citizenship. You should be going to convention centers about real estate where all of the signage is in Mandarin. That's what you're supposed to be doing. That's what a good tourist is someone who walks in to a rapidly gentrifying suburb and bids $200,000 over the asking for their 15th home owned by foreign investment, and they fuck a family of three out of a house. And then they get a family three in the house and raise the rent by 50%. Can't afford it? Sorry. You should have been born to a very rich and corrupt Chinese family. Sucks to be you. But if you come here and you're a little bit too excited about interacting with the wildlife, you better get the fuck out, especially if you have an American accent. You Americans talk too loud in public. Okay? Why is it that whenever I'm in a public space in Australia now, I have to listen to the inner monologue of some fuckwit from Texas? Oh, wow. Shut up. Do that in your head. Americans only think out loud. All right? When I have to yell shit, I come and I record it on a podcast and I give it out to you. And for the really fuck stuff, I charge a monthly fee to access it on Patreon so that the news can't hear it. But Americans are just out there fucking on the street podcasting. Every fucking thought that comes into their head, they're going to say it out loud. An observation about a stranger. I don't want to hear what you're thinking. Anyway, this has turned into like a bit of a detour on this episode. It must be hard to be an American fan of me. Right? And because I trash you guys a lot. But in my defense, you deserve it. No. All right, look. We had to spend 2 years in lockdown because we don't have guns, all right? If they tried to do that to you guys would have started a revolution and killed cops. And that's what a good country does. So you are superior to us, and good luck. And please let me in. And we love Israel, our greatest ally. I'm desperately trying to get a visa. Let me in. Anyway, so this woman, she handles this wombat, right? She's shaking it all around. She's basically given it shaken baby syndrome and then fucking punted it onto the road. Okay? And of course, everyone's outraged about it. The Prime Minister does a whole fucking press conference about one American bitch being mean to a wombat. This is why we don't get anything done. You know, people are like, hey man, why are houses $1 million? And the Prime Minister's like, I'm very upset at one American tourist. Look, dude, that's my job, okay? I'm not coming to you with solutions on how to solve the housing crisis. Why are you doing bits during press conferences, all right? They're like, oh, what do you think about this American fucking tourist who was mean to a wombat? And this is how little is going on in our country. The Prime Minister is like, well, I reckon that she should try that with a crocodile or an animal that can actually fight back. How Australian is that? Someone was like, hey, Mr. Prime Minister, an American tourist did something kind of disrespectful. What should be done about it? And the Prime Minister of our country goes, I reckon that bitch should fucking kill herself. I reckon she should jump into a fucking river with a croc and die. That's what I think. That's my president, buddy. Anthony Albanese just got my vote. Let's go, Labor. Encouraging a dumb American tourist to kill herself during a press conference. That's my president. I stood up out of my chair and fucking saluted. I was like, sir, yes, sir. That's my president. Our home is good by sea. That's awesome. I love that. Finally, a prime minister with backbone enough to tell an American tourist who did something like slightly disrespectful to end her life. That's awesome. That's my president. We love it. So anyway, she's responded to all of this, right? And she's one of these I fucking hate hunting influencers. Most of them suck. There's a couple good ones. Like I follow that Cameron Haynes guy. I quite like him. Right? I have absolutely nothing against hunting at all. In fact, I think that hunting is like, if you're going to eat meat, it's the most ethical way to do it, right? I think that vegans are morally correct, but practically wrong. I think that, like, you know, the way that we farm, factory farming, fucking putting chickens in cages and mincing up the boys, all that stuff is like, it is reprehensible, right? And a lot of it is really fucked and shouldn't be done. However, we just need meat to be healthy. Like, we just do. Every single vegan person that I know has quit at some point because of health issues. Every one of them. And I'm actually trying to think of, I live in Melbourne. It's the fucking vegan capital of the world. And I think the vegans are right. Every argument, I'm like, yeah. That's why when I eat meat, I hardly eat any, I don't eat any beef. I eat a lot of eggs, but only free range. I will never buy cage eggs, no matter how fucking expensive or cheap they are, because it's just animal abuse. It's horrible, right? I only eat free range eggs, and pretty much the only red meat that I have is kangaroo, because we have to cull them, right? And if we were some other type of species that didn't eat meat to conserve the environment, we would still have to kill them, right? They live their natural lives, eat their natural diet. They can't be farmed, and they get shot from helicopters because they have to be, because there's too many of them, right? So that ticks all my boxes. That's the most ethical way to consume meat. That's what I do. I want to be a vegan. I would love to do that. I think it's impractical. I'm 6'8", right? I can't survive on fucking veggies. And don't send me a link to one bodybuilder that can do it, okay? I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to do that. It's too hard. And it's not healthy for me. I've tried it. It's bad. Okay? Made me feel all sicky and yucky. I'm waiting out for cloned meat. That's what I want. I want cloned meat. The other day I saw all these people going, oh, cloned meat is wrong. Why? Like, genuinely why? I haven't seen a single reason why cloned meat is bad. It all comes down to weird. And yeah, it's fucking weird. Like, is that alive? If you 3D print a shoulder, does it have a soul? You know? Where does that come from? What's that? But if we can get to a point where cloned, printed, grown meat, or whatever the fuck, is like genetically exactly the same as, beef that you get from a farm, fuck yeah. We don't need that at all. That's what, and then vegans can stop complaining. Their argument's gone. They can just be like, all right, well, I'm going to eat the clone stuff and stop being annoying and undye my hair and change and stop shaving the fucking sides. Have I gone on a massive fucking detour here? I feel like I have. What was I talking about? This hunting bitch. I hate these hunting influencers so much, okay? Some of them are good. They just like, I just killed this and I'm chopping it up and I'm putting it in the freezer and that's going to feed my family for like a month and I'm very grateful for the animal and I killed it with mercy. Right? I love that. That's beautiful. That's in an ideal world, that's what we would all be doing. But I like McDonald's. Very yummy, very convenient. And I'm pretty sure that if I just went out there with a bow and started killing shit in the neighborhood to eat, the only thing I'd be able to take out is a couple cats. And I feel like some people will be sad. So that's not practical. All right? But if I lived in America where there was lots of access to deer, fuck yeah, I'd be hunting. Right? But these hunting influencers, they're not hunting influencers. They're killing influencers. You know what they are? These fucking trophy hunters that fly around just killing shit and going, look what I fucking killed. Like it's impressive to shoot something with a gun. You know? Like wasn't it one of the best things that Trump ever did was fucking abuse his son for doing trophy hunting. Am I remembering that right? Didn't one of his fucking dickhead sons go and kill some majestic animal? Like a giraffe or... I swear that's... maybe I'm making this up. Trump son trophy hunting. Trump son trophy gunting. Where is it? Yeah. Donald Trump Jr. went to Mongolia and got a hunting permit to kill something. What did he kill? Endangered sheeping. Largest sheep in the world. Yeah, and like I think that's gross. I don't like that. That's lame. That's not killing it for food. That's killing it for fun. I think that's like demonic and bad and evil, right? And that's what these fucking hunting influencers do. They just travel around the world killing shit. And that's what she came here to do, right? In New Zealand, she's fucking posting herself with dead wallaby, like native animals over there, going, look what I killed. And it's like, you're traveling. You're not fucking using that entire animal for food. If she actually fucking ate the whole wallaby, great. All power to her. God bless her. But fucking killing it for an Instagram post, be like, yeah, I killed, and then going to Australia and fucking picking up a wombat and like, for a photo, it's like you're just killing animals and harassing them for social media content. It sucks, right? And you absolutely, while wandering around the city on your day off from like murdering shit, we're probably talking way too loud in public, because all of you Americans do when you're here. And we can all hear you, and you're all wearing those fucking fanny packs. I've never been able to identify a tourist from a distance until I saw an American. You guys, stop the fanny packs and the fucking high socks and the hiking boots. You're in a city, all right? Take off the fucking bucket hat, all right? You're an adult, okay? Why are you wearing binoculars and a Hawaiian shirt? Are you in a fucking cartoon? Shut up. We don't talk to each other in this country. We stay away from each other. We don't form bonds, and then when one of us starts to become successful, we fucking tear them down. That's what this country's about. Seeing someone doing better than us and going, that guy thinks he's arrogant. That guy's arrogant. He thinks he's better than me. That's what this country's all about. You know, America's like, oh, you can achieve anything that you want. Australia's like, don't you dare try to achieve. I'll call you gay. That's our culture. American exceptionalism. How about being exceptional is gay? That's Australian culture. Anyway, so she's done all this, and she's one of these fucking poisonous hunting influencers, right? And this has gone worldwide news. Even in America, I saw them talking about it on fucking breakfast television. And even they were like, this chick's nuts. So she's posted this fucking 6 different paragraphs. Press release for immediate release. My official statement regarding the Wombat incident. One of 2. 2 statements. Speaking fluent Japanese over here. This statement is provided in full and should not be exerted or altered without permission. This is the only public statement I have made regarding this incident. Also, I'm a fucking moron, and I have minimal amount of brain cells. I'm stupid, and according to my doctor, I've been clinically retarded. That's weird that she wrote that. But that's what she wrote, and she specified here that the rule was that her statement should be provided in full and not exerted or altered. And then she goes on to explain that she is a retard. Interesting way to start a statement. Anyway, she goes on to say this. And then she says, when we found the mother and the Joey on a road... Oh, I hate it already. You fucking... dumb seppo. Joey is a baby kangaroo, not a baby. A baby wombat is called I don't know, what's a baby wombat called? A baby wombat. Joey. Oh my God. When we found the mother and the Joey on a road not moving, I wonder why they were not moving. Do you reckon it was because they were blasting their fucking high beams in their eyes and they'd blinded them and they were terrified? I was extremely concerned, as wombats are so often hit on Australian roads. She literally put it down on the fucking road. So that's a lie, like provably false. I stopped to ensure they got off the road safely and didn't get hit. That's interesting because she pulled it out of the grass across the road. The mother followed it onto the road, and then she took a selfie in front of the car, and then she put it back down on the road. So that's a lie. However, as is seen from the video when I walked up to them, the Joey did not move or run off. Oh yeah, because he probably loved you, hey? I ran not to rip the Joey away from its mother, but from fear she might attack me. Yeah, that's so stupid. The snap judgment I made in these moments was never from a place of harm or stealing a Joey. Yes, but you harmed it and you stole it. So, like, what? Who cares? While I was unbelievably excited to see such an amazing animal, yeah, lucky she didn't have a revolver on it. She'd kill it for a photo. I looked over it quickly and immediately returned it to its mother. Yeah, she was actually, you know, she's a vet. That's why she was stealing a small animal from its mother after, you know, a proven track record of murdering everything else she came into contact with. In this one instance, she was actually performing emergency health care on the Wombat and checking to see if it was okay. I have done a great deal of reflection on this situation and have realized that I did not handle this situation as best as I should have. Regardless, my only intent was to prevent these amazing animals from being hit, by a car as opposed to your bullet, and making sure that Joey wasn't in need of immediate care. I've learned from this situation and I am truly sorry for the distress I've caused. I want to make it absolutely clear that this was never about social media or getting likes. She literally says in the video, "Oh my God, I've always wanted a photo with a fucking..." This was not staged, nor was it done for entertainment. In my excitement and concern, I acted too quickly and then failed to provide necessary context to viewers online. All right, so that's her first statement. So no sorry there. Second statement. This is 2 pages. I'm going to blast through it quickly. I assume this was written on the fucking plane ride home. Am I a villain? Things, dear reader, are not as they seem. She's writing poetry now. That's how you know someone's really fucking like such a narcissist. It's like they fuck up and their response to it is not sorry, my bad, but like a 13 stanza fucking poem. Like, what are you, Edgar Allan Poe? Over holding a wombat, thousands threaten my life. My wife, let me be clear. These same people ought to understand the reality of Australia today. Oh, who's going to tell us about the reality of Australia? The fucking dumb American tourist who was here for 5 days and then got deported for being a retard? Please, tell me more about my own country that I live in. Oh, man. I'm getting absolutely just overjoyed by the amount of freedom that's flowing into my soul right now because an American is going to tell me about my country and how fucked up it is. Hey, dude, how much does an ambulance cost? I don't know. I bet you do. These same people ought to understand the reality of Australia today. For the readers that are so angered by my mistaken attempt to help and that I am a hunter, do not be blind to your country. Oh yeah, fuck it, let's go. Tell me all about it. Let's start with wombats. The Australian government allows and permits the slaughter of wombats. Thousands each year are shot, poisoned to suffer, and trapped legally. Good. You know why that happens? Because they've got this horrible, fucked, communicable disease that we are really worried that it will one day jump from wombats to humans. And it's unbelievably contagious from wombat to wombat. And it makes them suffer a horrific death. It's like a facial pox. They go blind. Their face falls apart. It's like necrosis or something. It's completely fucked. And the reason we kill them is to stop it from spreading. From my understanding, I believe there is some medicine or some kind of vaccine that can be given, maybe. Someone in the comments will know more than me. But the reason we kill them is because of this horrible disease. Not for fun or for a photo. Landowners rip up wombat burrows with heavy machinery, poison them with fumigation, and shoot them whenever they can. Quietly, of course, so as not to face the wrath that has come upon me. Yeah, dude. Brother, half my fucking family live out bush. They have farms, okay? They're not out there with guns shooting wombats for fun, okay? That's not how they operate. You are dumb. Why, you might ask, do they kill them? Well, to feed you. Yeah, dude. In Australia, the one thing that I look forward to every day is a nice wombat steak. I love eating fucking wombat stew, dude. A wombat is mostly bone. Like, it's not good eating. To feed you. The landowner is trying to survive to raise you the lamb for your dinner table, the grapes for your wine, and the produce for your salads. Wombats get in the way of this through putting their holes and tunnels across the land, creating hazard for livestock, and turning up the ground to eat roots. The wombat knows no better, as it too is merely trying to survive. Dude, you don't get it. I was just trying to survive by like ripping a wombat away from its mother for content. Like, I'm just foraging, dude. You don't get it. I'm at one with nature, just like the wombat for a fucking Instagram reel. Your government further spends tens of millions of taxpayer dollars annually to fly around in helicopters and shoot beautiful horses, deer, and pigs out its windows. Good! They are an invasive species that are absolutely horrific for the environment, and if we let them run free, not only would they starve, they would also destroy the ecosystem and countless native animals would die. The reason we have to kill them is because some fucking ignorant tourists brought them here in the first place going, oh, I gotta have my pigs. A swift death is often not afforded to these animals. The Australian government... So what's your argument? That what you do to animals is awful? Because she's now complaining about fucking hunting and shooting shit. So like, what are you trying to tell me? That you're an animal abuser also? Is this your vegan arc? What's going on here? Also, sorry to get all fucking boomer on you, but this is classic woman shit. I'm angry at you because you fucking gave shaken baby syndrome to a wombat. You're yelling at me about fumigation. Stop changing the argument, all right? We're talking about you fucking up. We're not going to talk about me not cleaning the toilet, all right? We're going to stay right on this topic where you fucked up. We're not going to go into why I should listen more and be more emotionally available, because that, while however valid that is, that's not what we're talking about right now. All right? Don't change the subject because you're wrong. I know your tricks. Girls. Your government further spends tens of millions of taxpayer dollars annually to fly around in helicopters and shoot beautiful horses, deer, and pigs out its windows. A swift death is not often afforded to these animals. The Australian Government Department of Agriculture's research showed a percentage of animals end up painfully wounded and stated that animal welfare outcomes could be improved with a national level standard operating procedure requiring helicopters to fly back over shot animals and repeatedly shoot animals in the head or thorax. Sound kind to you? Yes. What's your argument? They just said, oh, this government body suggested a more humane way to do this thing that has to be done. Sound kind to you? Yes. They should listen to that advice. I think they should do it. What's the argument? Can you just fucking say that it sucks to feel embarrassed when you do something fucking dumb? Instead of going on a 3,000 paragraph manifesto about why it's bad to kill deer when they're an invasive species, when you also kill deer for fun and photos, not to eat? What's your argument here? Because all I'm hearing is that you're an idiot. Anyway, page 2. Survival for these animals can become near impossible. Yeah, good, because they're an invasive species. And their lives, a constant state of fear. A constant state of fear. Their carcasses are then left out on your public lands to rot. No, to fucking be eaten by native animals, scavengers, insects, turned into manure, circle of life. What are we supposed to do? Like every time you shoot a fucking horse that's starving to death because all the other horses ate all the food, what are we supposed to do? Give it a Viking's funeral? We're gonna fucking put it on a boat and cover the boat in gasoline and shoot an arrow at it at sea? What do you want? What should we be doing? Burying them all? Should we start having fucking state funerals for a feral hog? Their carcasses are left on your public lands to rot. Your Snowy River and Kosciuszko National Park brumbies are being slaughtered by the thousands on your dime. Good! Classic American to be like, oh, your Snowy River and like, we don't give a fuck about the man from Snowy River, dude. You're like telling me what my culture is. No one gives a fuck about Snowy River. That's you, brother. That's like an American being like, oh, you Aussies and you put a shrimp on the barbie. No one says that here. That's not what we're about. That'd be like going to fucking England and being like, oh, all you English people and you're like brushing your teeth and flossing. Like, they don't do that. You're being disrespectful to the culture. Speak to your Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, about that. Loving the National Parks and Wildlife Service of Australia while being angered at me for killing feral deer for food is hypocrisy at its finest. No one's upset at you for killing deer for food. Again, she's woman-splaining away, changing the subject. We're angry about the Wombat video. You're talking about killing feral deer for some reason. Feel like I'm having an argument with a schizophrenic person. How about the beloved kangaroo, the national animal on your coat of arms? In the last 20 years, approximately 90 million kangaroos and wallabies have been legally slaughtered for commercial purposes. And that number is not slowing down. Yeah, good. Great. We should be killing more kangaroo. You know why? Because they're overpopulated. There's too many of them. Because of farming, all right? Because we can't farm them and we can't fence them in because they can jump, all right? There's big bodies of water everywhere that kangaroo drink from that would not be there if, white people never came to Australia and farming never came to Australia, right? Subsistence farming has meant that the kangaroo population has exploded in a way that it never would have if we didn't bring farming and man-made lakes and all that kind of shit. So if we don't kill the kangaroo that are around because there's too many of them, they will just starve to death. And that's horrible. And also a big waste, right? We can shoot them from helicopters, which is the most humane way to do it. All right, it's more humane than fucking growing a pig in a cage. All right, and we can eat that. And they live their natural lives on their natural diet. They're not farmed, and they die a quick death, and then we get to eat it. And it's the most healthy red meat that you can get in the country. And that's good for everyone. And it's actually, at the moment, cheaper than beef. So, great. I hope we kill even more kangaroo. That's a thing that we should keep up. That's important to keeping kangaroo, the species, alive, is maintaining their population and making sure it doesn't get out of hand. Like, again, this is like classic, like American not understanding our culture. Like, you think we love kangaroo like it's some kind of fucking cuddly endangered species mascot. Brother, it's a jumping rat. Like, I love kangaroo. They're cool, but they're fucking everywhere. All right? And yeah, it's dope to see one and they bounce around and they're a beautiful creature, but there's too many of them. And if we don't look after them by culling them, there'll be none left. It's not like, I feel like some Americans think we look at the kangaroo like they look at the bald eagle. Like, if I came over and started fucking shaking baby bald eagles around, you'd be like, hey man, that's fucking crazy, you should get out. And I'd be like, oh, sorry, I was just really disappointed that they don't make the noise that they make on TV. They actually make a much more annoying, ugly noise, but you guys thought that was less cool, so you changed it. Imagine if we did that with kangaroo, Like all foreigners thought that kangaroo made like a really cool noise, and then they got there and it made a really ugly, weird noise. And they were like, why the fuck did they do that? That's weird. Are they not deserved of government protection as native species? No. All right, she's complaining that the wombat is a protected species, but the kangaroo is not. Bitch, when the wombat is overpopulated to the point of harming its own species and species around it, then it won't be a protected species. People will be fucking lining up to run it over on the road. It'll be a national fucking sport, wombat punting. You have to buy spiked boots I'll be the first one to shoot fireworks down into a burrow. All right, but they're not. They're protected, so we look after them. Are they not deserving of government protections as native species? If you don't believe me, take a look around the next time you go to Woolworths, where you will find kangaroo flesh sold as both pet and human food. Good, yummy. Yummy, yum, yum, yum. I literally ate kangaroo before I recorded this. I've got kangaroo mince in my freezer. I've got kangaroo steak in my fridge. I eat it every day. I have bolognese for breakfast, kangaroo bolognese, and then for lunch I have kangaroo steak. It's amazing. I love it. If there were too many fucking platypus and they were delicious, I'd be eating that shit every day too. Tastes better than beef. I don't like beef. It's all fatty and weird. And I feel like they're eating something they probably shouldn't be that ends up going into my body. Kangaroo, they're just eating their natural diet. Love it. Makes me feel good. Also, again, what are you trying to say here? That we shouldn't be killing stuff for food? Aren't you the bitch posting skinned animals on your Instagram for likes? What, like, are you a vegan now? What's your argument? I don't get it. You see, as sad as it is, most of humanity selfishly cares far more about ourselves than we do the natural world. I'm sorry, which one of us was fucking shaking the baby wombat they stole? Was it me or you? Because this feels like you're writing it as if I did it. In many articles, it was suggested that I go see a wombat in a zoo instead. Let's be clear. Breeding and keeping wild animals in captivity, to be imprisoned in a zoo for our gawking pleasure is a sin far more egregious than me holding one for a moment in an effort to help. Firstly, it wasn't in an effort to help. It was for a fucking photo, all right? You don't know anything about wombats, as evidenced by the fact you called it a fucking Joey, all right? It was just for a photo. It was for fun. Secondly, our zoos, unlike whatever your zoos do, I'm assuming, according to you, provide an immensely powerful and important resource and heaps of money, all aimed towards conservatorship and education about wildlife, and they look after them really fucking well. I mean, Steve Irwin, who owns, doesn't he own Australia Zoo? He's one of the biggest landowners in Australia, and he does nothing with the land because it's conservation work. He bought up all this land and he was like, no one build on it. This is for animals. And that's all funded through fucking zoos. All right, so how much money did you donate to conserving wildlife when you were given that wombat shaken baby syndrome? None? I thought so. While the Prime Minister wishes harm on me for picking up a wombat, awesome, king, that's my president, I implore you to take a good hard look at what is currently being done in Australia surrounding the real issues it faces. What? Conservatorship? Looking after our native animals? Booting out Seppo tourists for fucking tormenting them? What's the problem? Please, American, tell me what our real issues are. While your fucking stock market plummets and your president is treating the White House like a fucking car dealership. Tell me what my problems are. I would love to know. Because right now, my biggest problem is that steel is going to get more expensive, not for me, for you. Also, it's pronounced aluminium. What are we doing here? Take a good hard look at what is currently being done in Australia surrounding the real issues it faces. The lack of power for tens of thousands of Aussies. What are you saying? What does that mean? What lack of power? Like what tens of thousands of Aussies? Like, is she talking about electricity? Or is she talking about like political power or representation? Like, what is she saying? And the treatment of its native wildlife. We treat our native wildlife fucking really well. Now, of course, there are some horrific exceptions, specifically in New South Wales. And there's a lot of work to be done and improvement to be done in a lot of areas. But, I mean, the very fact that the entire country rallied around one fucking wombat to the point where you had to leave our country says fucking heaps about how we view our native animals. Thank you very much. Then decide for yourself if I, a person who certainly makes mistakes, am really your villain. Yes, I've decided that you are. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then she's attached a bunch of sources of like how many kangaroos are killed a year and kangaroo shooting. Like that isn't incredibly important environmental conservatorship work. You know, she's basically going, you might think that this guy's garden looks really nice, but you wouldn't believe me if I told you he actually pulls up a lot of weeds. So how much does he really care about flowers? You're an idiot. You're dumb. You're stupid. I'm glad you're not here anymore. Thank goodness she's white, because you wouldn't be able to say that if they were American but also Chinese. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't get away with that. Right? She's the right color for me to be able to say get out of my country, and I'll face no repercussions against that. You know? Because there's an agenda against whites. Anyway, what did I want to talk about? Oh, dude, have you seen Bonnie Blue in Cancun, dude? She's fucking it up. I don't think I've ever seen someone who truly does it for the love of the game. I would argue that Bonnie Blue, like, she'd be making millions of dollars, right? And I've spoken to her. She's a nice lady, all right? She'd be making millions of dollars, but I would almost argue the ratio of dick to dollar is way off compared to her contemporaries. Like, she'll be making more money than most other women in the industry, but also clearly taking way more dick. So the dick to dollar ratio is way off with Bonnie Blue and Lily Phillips and who's the other one? Annie Knight. I got to get her on the podcast. She's Australian. We'll get it done. I'm fascinated by it. They're on spring break in America in Cancun, just fucking spreading whatever they've got. Love is what I mean. To 18-year-old American idiots who are absolutely loving it. I've never seen them like more well received. You know, like those lines in the UK looked very sad. It was a bunch of masked up and hoodied like Muslim boys whose parents would be horrified to know that they were in those lines. Right? Just lining up in silence and in shame with a couple of dads with wives mixed in there. Spring break's just a fucking legion of frat boys going, yeah, dude, let's fuck Bonnie Blue for fun. Yeah, man. Spring break. What is a condom? I don't know what that is. Like, surely Bonnie Blue's pussy has got a callus on it by now. Everywhere except the clitoris, because you know that those boys wouldn't be able to find that. I don't know how she does it. It's all going to blend together at one point. You know what I mean? Like, is she attracted to men anymore? Or is it just like it's just like a sea of faces and bodies melding together and it's all one fuck to her? I don't understand it. She truly loves it. Some of these other girls that are trying to replicate like the 1,000-man or the 100-man gangbang, like there's a darkness in their eyes that you can see. And afterwards, like that Lily Phillips one, dude, I watched that YouTube video. I had to turn it off because she just looked so like spiritually defeated afterwards. Bonnie Blue looks energized by it. Like she's a different breed, man. She loves it. I haven't seen anyone enjoy anything as much as she enjoys fucking dudes. I love comedy. I love it. I love performing. I love meeting people after the shows. I can't wait to do my shows this year. I love it so much. It's my passion. It's my dream. It's always been my dream. I don't think I'd do it for more than a couple hours in a night. And then I'm like, all right, that is enough for me. Two, maybe 3 shows. That was great. I loved all 3 of those. If I had to do 4, I would hate it. I want to go home. I want to go back to the hotel. I want to read my Kindle. Bonnie Blue has no such limitations. She loves sex more than some people love their children. I don't think I've seen anyone enjoy anything more. Do you reckon she looks in the mirror and she psychs herself up like this is, we do this because we know we can do this. Like, I believe in you. Do you reckon she has to psych herself up? Like, I know LeBron James probably feels like doesn't want to go to training a lot, but he goes anyway. He's like, no, I go to training because I want to be the best basketball player there ever has been. When Steph Curry was fucking shooting threes or whatever he does, I don't know anything about basketball, despite my length. All right? In fact, the only reason I know the names of these players is because my son likes basketball. All right? And all I know about basketball is LeBron James is good and Shaq is big and Steph Curry can shoot threes from far away and it kind of broke the entire game. And you should never get into a helicopter. That's all I know about basketball. Is that Steph Curry's good at shooting threes and you shouldn't really be commuting in a helicopter. That's more of like a special occasion vehicle. But like when Steph's in the gym fucking shooting his 500th three of the day, he's probably like, oh, I'd rather be at home. Like no one would care if I'm at home. I wouldn't get in trouble. No one would even notice. I'm the only one in the gym. I could go home and play video games and still be worth $100 million. I really don't have to do this anymore. But I'm here because I want to be great. And I'm here because I'm fucking Steph Curry. And I'm here because I must be here. Do you reckon Bonnie Blue ever has those thoughts? Like she has those conversations with herself in the mirror, like mid gangbang, Like she's up to like middle-aged anonymous migrant number 345, and she's like, no, I'm here because I want to be great. I'm here because that bitch Lily Phillips did 1,000 and I want to do 1,001. Do you reckon that? I got to ask her. I'm sure we'll do a pod at some point. They fascinate me. They're like actually a different type of human. Like when people are like, you shouldn't do sex work, and then you see Bonnie Blue, it's like, should she be in a call center? Like, what else should she be doing? Okay, that's the GOAT right there. I don't think anyone who's capable of enjoying like a 200-man gangbang 200 days in a row is capable of being confined to an office, Like, where would you rather Bonnie Blue be? In HR or in the fucking streets? I know my answer. And I know she knows hers. You know what? Really, Bonnie Blue is like doing a service to all of these OnlyFans girls because she's taken all the heat. You know that meme of like the army soldier taking all the knives and bullets for the beautiful young child sleeping in the bed? That's Bonnie Blue, and the child in bed is every other OnlyFans girl. Right? Because before if anyone had an OF, they would just be like, "Oh, you're just a whore. You're worth nothing. You're a whore. OF detected, opinion rejected." Right? All that. But now, thanks to Bonnie Blue, everyone realizes that actually there's levels to this shit. There's levels. All right? There's OnlyFans that's just lewds, cosplay, tasteful burlesque pics. Then there's nudes, no pussy. Then there's nudes and pussy. Then there's nudes and pussy and masturbating. Then there's full-on sex, all right? And that's one level. And then there's Bonnie Blue, all right? And she's taken all the hits now. Now, compared to Bonnie Blue, your average girl with an OF looks like Mother Teresa, a born-again virgin. So all you girls should be grateful. I don't know. Every time I see her doing this like public stuff, like I'm here, come and fuck me. I go, oh my God, I hope a psycho doesn't turn up. I just go, I hope she has good security. Like, God forbid. But every time I see that, I go, fuck, man, that's like, I feel like there's like one fucking psycho out there, whether it's a religious nutter or like some incel that hates women, or like, I just watch that and I go, that's fucking scary. Like, allowing that many strange men access to you in relative privacy is like alarm bells all over. I hate that. I don't like that. I think it's dangerous. But I hope it's not. I hope she's, yeah. Maybe I'll ask her. I don't know. Anyway, we're very grateful that she sent me a cameo. How lovely of her. Or not a cameo. She did a cameo in a YouTube video, and she took time out of her day to be made fun of. And we love a good sport. Okay? See, that's how I know that she really loves it. Like, she's in it for the love of the game. Because not only is she fucking all these dudes, she's like, oh yeah, you want to make fun of me? Great, that'll make me more famous. I'll play. Anyway, that's probably the end of the episode. Come and see me live, louispears.com. Shorter episode, but I'm a little bit sleepy. And I did a real long episode last week, and I did a really long Patreon episode as well that I think is going to be up. And I'm going to do a Patreon episode for this one as well. So we'll continue on Patreon. If you want more Spears, thank you so much for listening and viewing. And I shot 4 YouTube videos this week that are sitting with Editor Man. So they're going to come back very soon and will be posted. So yeah, thank you very much. I'll talk to you soon. I hope you have a shit one. Bye.